accept the reality of the world with which we're presenting. It's as simple as that.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Paradigm. I'm your host, Paul Breckel. CBDCs, central bank digital currency. This is a topic which is currently being discussed at the World Economic Forum in Davos, but it is something that people who have been labelled as conspiracy theorists have been talking about since 2020. But again, the conspiracy theorists are being proven to be telling the truth on these matters. Now, at Davos at the minute, obviously, all the elite are gathering, discussing all kinds of topics, including vaccines, disease X, and CBDCs. But why is it important that we should know about CBDCs? Well, each country around the world, including the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve in the US, Canada's central bank, Australia's central bank, the European Union's central bank, they're all developing a CBDC. They're all developing their own central bank digital currency. Now, what we need to do is take consideration of the actual phrase. It's central bank digital currency. Therefore, it is a centralized currency controlled by the central banks. They issue it and they control it. It's basically going to be programmable digital money. Programmable by the central bank. Now, at first, it's going to seem like a good idea. People are going to say, well, what's all the fuss about? It's convenient. However, it could turn very sinister very quickly. You see, in China at the moment, they have the social credit score system, which, if you are a good citizen, which means basically, if you're a good party member and you don't speak out against the government, your social credit score will be high. Therefore, when you turn up to the train station and your face is scanned, the barriers will open for you so you can travel on their trains. Or if you go up to a vending machine and you use the facial recognition technology, you scan your face and the drink that you select, that will come out of the machine. However, if you're somebody who isn't a good citizen, i.e. somebody who's not a party member, someone who maybe posts anti-government material online, your social credit score will be low. Therefore, when you go to the train station and your face is scanned, the barriers won't open. You won't be able to use the train. When you go to the vending machine, your face will be scanned. You'll be declined. You won't be able to purchase the drink that you want to purchase. Now, what will happen with this central bank digital currency will be a similar sort of thing. It will become programmable, but it won't move quickly in the beginning. Simple little steps, the totalitarian tiptoe, as it's being called. But make no mistake about it, this is another control measure and it will affect every single person in every country on earth. You see, it'll be controlled because, for example, climate change. So you go and you buy yourself a beef burger. That's fine. You've purchased your beef burger with your central bank digital currency. However, you go again a couple of days later and you want some more red meat and your central bank digital currency doesn't work because it's been programmed to allow you to only eat red meat once a week. Therefore, it's going to be vegetarian or vegan meals for you the rest of the week. Or you might be able to buy some fish, but it's not going to be real money because real money you can spend on whatever you want and it's private. Every single transaction will be tracked and it won't be able to be spent on anything that they don't want you to spend it on. The government of your country will control every aspect of your finances. It's important that we understand this. But what is the end game to all this? Because there is an end game. I hear a lot of people, experts who know a lot more than me, talking about digital currency, but they don't talk about the end game. They talk about control. They talk about the elite wanting to control us, wanting us in our 15-minute cities. wanting us to have the central bank digital currency so they can track every payment that we make in real time. But where is it all leading to? Well, around 95 AD, a man called John, who is known by that name in the Western world, John the Revelator, wrote the book of Revelation, the last book of the Bible, inspired by the Holy Spirit. And he wrote of a mark of the beast. And the mark of the beast is basically a mark that if you don't receive it, it says in the book of Revelation that anyone that does not receive this mark won't be able to buy or sell anything. And it also goes on to say that all those that are not written in the Lamb's book of life will receive the mark of the beast. Now, I'm not saying that CBDCs are the mark of the beast, because they're not. What I'm saying is this is part of the end game. There has to be steps to get to that point for the mark of the beast. So this is just another step in that direction, and that's why we need to all be aware of it, and we need to resist it. It will be inevitable that CBDCs come in. However, we can still resist. My suggestion is use cash for as long as you can. Take your money out of the bank and use cash. Keep up to date with information regarding digital IDs also, because this is all going to be linked to the central bank digital currency. You're going to have a digital ID, you're going to have a digital currency, and it's all to do with control, leading in the direction for this mark of the beast. Now, when people say they know what the mark of the beast is, they don't know what the mark of the beast is. There's all kinds of speculation, and I'm not going to speculate on what it is. All I will say is that it will come. There will be not only this mark, but linked to that, it talks about those that worship the beast. So there's going to be some kind of link with the mark and worship. That's how I know that the central bank digital currency is not that mark. But all these elites meeting in Davos, they are just the underlings of Satan. This is why each country around the world, especially in the Western world, are propagating the same messages. It's the same message from the same source, because the source is from Satan. He has control of a number of fallen angels. Obviously, we can't see them, but they are in control of the nations of the world. And this is why we see these plans enacted and why there's going to be a one world government. Please be aware of the central bank digital currency. Educate yourselves on these things. Educate yourselves on digital IDs. Keep looking into the World Economic Forum and the messages that are coming out of there. Keep looking towards things regarding climate change, because that's another control measure. Ultimately, it's all about control. There's going to be cameras, more cameras going up. We know in London, there's the Blade Runners who have been taking the ULEZ cameras down. And each nation around the world is becoming more and more restrictive. In the West, we think that we're free. We look upon the North Koreans and say, oh, poor North Koreans, they're so brainwashed. However, we're not free. Your vote doesn't matter. The elections are all rigged. Leaders are handpicked and not elected. So what I would say is, finally, is be aware that this is another step in the direction of the mark of the beast, which is the end game, which is total and utter control of humanity.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.